Another day and another fake news hit piece from the New York Times where they claim that Elon Musk was meeting with Pentagon officials to go over a potential war between America and China. I know, it just blows your mind, right? Here's what President Trump had to say, and then we'll dive into the actual article. Take a look.
We don't want to have a potential war with China, but I can tell you if we did, we're very well equipped to handle it. But I don't want to show that to anybody, but certainly you wouldn't show it to a businessman who is helping us so much. He's a great patriot. He's paying a big price for helping us cut costs, and he's doing a great job. He's finding tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse. But I certainly wouldn't want, Elon has businesses in China, and he would be susceptible perhaps to that. But it was such a fake story. The New York Times is just as fake as CNN and MSDNC. And anybody read that story, people laughed at that story. Who would do such a thing? And the first thing I did is I called Susie and I called Pete. I said, is there any truth to that? And they said it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's no question that it's a ridiculous story. We've seen this playbook before, haven't we? They did it to President Trump for years. Russia hoax, Ukraine smears, endless fake narratives. Now they're turning their fire on Elon Musk because he is exposing fraud, waste, and abuse. The establishment hates independent thinkers who put America first. But what's really at stake here? I believe the deep state and their media pawns want to take control of the narrative. That's why they plant these fake stories to grab people's attention and distract them from the real truth. And now they're trying to paint a picture that we're edging towards a war with China, when in reality, it's President Trump who's keeping America safe, strong, and respected worldwide.
That's exactly right, Mr. President. You pointed out it was a fake story. We pointed out it was meant to sort of undermine whatever relationship the Pentagon has with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a patriot. Elon Musk is an innovator. Elon Musk provides a lot of capabilities our government and our military rely on, and I'm grateful for that. We welcomed him today to the Pentagon to talk about DOGE, to talk about efficiencies, to talk about innovations. It was a great informal conversation. The rest of that reporting was fake. There was no war plans, there was no Chinese war plans, there was no secret plans. That's not what we were doing at the Pentagon.
And what you're going to realize, because we're going to get to the article later in this video, that the truth doesn't matter. It's about a narrative for the media. And that is to undermine everything about President Trump, that anything connected to President Trump is evil, and that there is no other way to cover him except to say that everything he's doing is bad and the people around him are bad. And if we make up a story, at least we're going to get attention and clicks and notoriety from it. Now, here's CNN hopping on this same fake news story. Take a look.
The way in which the president emphatically denied, and said he even checked with the defense secretary and his chief of staff to make sure that Elon Musk was not getting briefed on war plans in China. Because it does really, first of all, the idea that he was so outraged that we would not really think that Elon Musk would want to do anything that would be a conflict of interest. I mean, has he seen what has happened in the first several weeks and month plus of his administration? There's not a big amount of transparency. It's very opaque, and there are a lot of potential conflicts of interest, but we don't know what we don't know. So we don't know how much how much information he has and how much access he has to those programs that are a direct conflict with his own business practices.
Okay, so Dana Bash claims that there's a lack of transparency from Elon Musk and that he might have access to sensitive government information. You're talking about the same individual that just rescued astronauts from space, who launches classified equipment, materials, and information into space via SpaceX. The same gentleman that Joe Biden granted a top secret clearance to, that guy. And by the way, if Dana Bash is so worried about transparency, where was she at when Joe Biden was the president? Let's understand something. They were hiding crucial information from the public, and the press knew it. We're talking about a president who was literally incapacitated, okay? Secret meeting with censorship agents, the Hunter Biden laptop cover-up, the Afghanistan disaster, the classified document scandal. I mean, we can go on and on and on. What about the cocaine that was found in the White House? Where was the transparency then? I didn't hear them screaming about that. Now, what we're going to do is use ground news to really investigate why I believe this is a fake news story, because we also can show you that they are claiming anonymous sources is what gave them this information, just for the record. Now, if you guys want to check this story out for yourself, you can go to ground.news/Devori. Okay. Now, this tool is going to show us exactly what the media is saying about this story on both sides of the political spectrum. That's why we use this to produce the show. Now, if we look at the articles that lean left, we already know what they're going to say. Look at this. Trump administration live updates Elon Musk to discuss China at the Pentagon. Based on what source exactly? Here's another one. Elon Musk goes to the Pentagon after reports that he will receive secret information about China. And if we look at articles that lean to the right, here's a good one. Trump denies New York Times claims of Musk being briefed on China war plans. Fake news. And one more for you. Trump denies Musk to be briefed on top secret plan for potential war with China. And so the point here is you could tell that on the left, the media doesn't care about the truth. They care about the narrative. Now, if you love that comparison, you might also love this tool from Ground News. It's called Blind Spot. These are stories that are disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. And this is why I love Ground News, and you will too. So subscribe through my link at ground.news/Devori or download the mobile app and use offer code Devori for 40% off the Vantage plan, which will give you unlimited access to everything that we just covered in this video. Now, let me continue to prove why this is a fake news story, and it screams at you within the first two paragraphs. Now, obviously, the title is catchy. Pentagon set up briefing for Musk on potential war with China. I'm sure that grabbed people's attention. The Pentagon was scheduled on Friday to brief Elon Musk on the U.S. military's plan for any war that might break out with China, two U.S. officials said on Thursday. Who are these U.S. officials exactly? Second paragraph. Another official said the briefing would be China-focused without providing additional details. A fourth official confirmed Mr. Musk was to be at the Pentagon on Friday, but offered no details. So let me get this straight. This entire story is based on four officials that you guys won't name. So why should we believe this story exactly? And for the record, if this is a top secret briefing, we're talking about some secrets that nobody should really have access to besides the Secretary of Defense, maybe a couple of more generals in that arena, and the president. Think about this for a second. They're claiming in this article that they understand how many slides exist in this briefing. How would you know that? That's top secret information. Here's what they say. The top secret briefing that exists for the China war plan has about 20 to 30 slides that lay out how the United States would fight such a conflict. It covers the plan beginning with the indications and warning of a threat from China to various options on what Chinese targets to hit over what time period that would be presented to Mr. Trump for decisions according to officials with knowledge of the plan. Mr. Trump, you mean President Trump? Now, here's what Congressman Horsford, who's out of Nevada, Democrat, I'm sure you know where this is going. Here's what he had to say about it.
He is an unelected billionaire, the richest person in the world, who has no accountability. And the idea that he would have access to our national security interest at a time when there are so many concerns all around the world is outrageous. This is why Democrats have been calling on House Republicans to bring Elon Musk before Congress. If he is such a genius, if everything that he's doing is so great, then bring him before Congress and let him testify. Let there be accountability to the people who are actually elected to ask those questions and to make sure our interests are protected. I think President Trump is showing just how weak he is when it comes to China by allowing this type of access from an unelected billionaire like Elon Musk.
Now, that is a political response, but let's just keep it very logical and fact-based, right? This is clearly fake news. Why? Because the New York Times did not name anybody. You can't do things like that. Now, the media will do things like that. And of course, if you are older than me, then you know that's not the way it used to be. But it is that way now, where they care about the narrative more than the truth. And by the way, what does this do for the New York Times? Let's say we walk this dog down the road here. Why would they run a fake news story? Because it's clicks, it's attention. They publish this story, they get a lot of eyeballs on it, then the president reacts to it, then they get to write another story about the president reacting to it. Now, here's MSDNC going back to the political point. where they believe this is the right strategy. Continue to attack Elon Musk. Take a look.
This is a winning message, Democrats believe. You see them finding their voice when it comes to this, and it's only probably going to be the start of a campaign that will continue right through Election Day of 2026, and even could play a role, Katie, in these special elections that we're going to see over the next couple of weeks from these Trump administration officials that have left Congress, and now we see races in Florida. There'll be one in upstate New York as well. So this is a theme that Democrats are really going to try and pin down. The only downside for them is if Musk ever separates himself from the Trump administration, then they're not going to have him as that boogeyman. But I think it's a fight right now that they're willing to invest in.
And that is very telling because it shows you that they're willing to tolerate the violence that has been directed at Tesla. That's why they've been really quiet about it. You don't see them actually coming out full force and condemning that violence. Now, here's what the spokesman from the Pentagon had to say. His name is Sean Parnell.
Yeah, on the record, that is completely fake. And let me show you this. This started with this New York Times headline, and they've since changed it. But Musk set to get access to top secret U.S. plan for potential war with China. This is egregious. This is fake. The New York Times should retract this story. 5 anonymous sources. I've been on bilat calls with the secretary. I see how hard he's working to implement the president's agenda and pursue peace through strength. This type of garbage from the New York Times undermines that process and undermines our mission. It shouldn't happen at all. Elon Musk is just coming over here for a visit. Again, he's an innovator. This is a guy that shot a rocket at thousands of miles an hour that's thousands of pounds. And as it landed back on the Earth, it was grabbed out of midair by a giant robot arm. Yeah. We want a guy like Elon Musk in the Defense Department to help us come up with creative solutions to the problems that we face in the day. But this article is ridiculous. It's fake, and I can confirm that on the record.
Let's actually consider their point. If that was actually to happen, a war with China, wouldn't we want Elon Musk to help the federal government and our Defense Department find innovative ways to defeat China? I'm sure logically we would end up in that position. I mean, just think about it. If it came down to life or death for our country, Elon Musk would say goodbye to his companies in China, and he would help us defeat them. I genuinely believe that. So even if what they say was true, even though it's all based on anonymous sources, I still don't understand why they're losing their mind. Oh, that's right. It's because Elon Musk supported President Trump. And when you support President Trump, it does not matter how many facts you are given. Everything is bad. Everything is bad. Even if Elon Musk and President Trump saved 10 babies out of a burning building, the left would find something to complain about in regards to that and call it evil. Now, here's a good question. The Pentagon staff are leaking classified information when it's actually fake news about the Trump administration to the New York Times. So is someone setting a trap for these leakers, or did the leakers think that they were passing credible information? Either way, this is a loss for them because what came from it? Just more noise, more fake news, and a loss of credibility. So let's get your thoughts in the comment section below about this entire story. Do you believe there is an issue with Elon Musk, let's say it is true, of getting access or being briefed on what the potential scenarios would be if we went to war with China? Do you believe that's an issue? And secondly, let's say it's not even true, which that's where I'm at, that this is purely fake news. Why do you think they're doing this? Why are they wasting their time publishing something that is based on anonymous sources? Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section below. Now, this next video that you're going to want to watch is not fake news. This is Gavin Newsom getting caught in multiple lies by CNN after they conducted a bombshell investigation about statements he made on his podcast. It might just shock you. So if you guys want to check out that video and more stories from earlier today, all you have to do is click on that video because it's coming up right now.